Hello everybody, so today I will read The Little Mermaid. This is a special edition and one of my most favorite movies when I was a child. And I haven't seen it recently, but I'm pretty sure I'd still like it. This is a special edition, so without any further ado, let's find the first page. Just so you know, the movie's a little bit different than this if I remember right. This is my first time reading it though. King Triton, the great sea king, had many daughters who loved the undersea world, but Triton's youngest daughter, Ariel, dreamed of the world above the water surface, the world of the humans. Ariel and her friend Flounder, that's Flounder, that's Ariel, and her friend Flounder liked to go to the surface and visit Scuttle, the seagull. Scuttle told them all about the humans' objects that Ariel found at the bottom of the sea. One day, Triton learned about Ariel's trip to the surface, and surface. The Sea King grew very angry. He asked his friend Sebastian, the crab, to keep an eye on Ariel. Wow. A few days later, Ariel noticed a ship sailing way up on the surface of the water. She quickly swam toward it. Ariel, please come back, cried Sebastian as he and Flounder swam after her. When Ariel surfaced, she saw a huge ship filled with sailors. Ariel's eyes lit up when she spotted the sailors and the others called Prince Eric. It was love at first sight. Suddenly the sky darkened. Boy, that doesn't sound like love at first sight. Suddenly the sky darkened. Heavy rain began to fall and the lightning split the sky. The ship was tossed on the waves and the prince was thrown overboard. Oh no, not the prince. Wow, you'll never guess what happens next. Well, I guess you saw the picture. I've got to save him, thought Ariel. She grabbed the drowning prince and swam to shore, pulling him onto the beach. Prince Eric did not stir as Ariel gently touched his face and sang him a love song. You can think of one on your own, I guess. Soon Ariel heard the prince crow searching for him. She did not want to be seen with the humans, so she kissed the prince and dove back into the sea. Wow. Prince Eric awoke to find Sir Grimsby, his loyal steward, at his side. Sir Grimsby was happy that Eric was alive. A girl rescued me. Oh, wait. Yeah, close enough, said the prince. She was singing. She had the most beautiful voice. Prince Eric, too, had fallen in love. Aww. Like I said, a little bit different than the movie. King Triton was furious when he discovered that Ariel had fallen in love with the human. He rushed to the grotto where Ariel kept her collection of human treasures, like a fork. Imagine what she'd do if she found a spark. Contact between he said, or contact between humans world and the mer world is strictly forbidden. Triton shouted. He raised his magic trident and fired bolts of energy around the cave, destroying the treasures. Then the mighty Sea King left. Ariel buried her face in her hands and began to cry. Wah, 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 she said. Meanwhile, not far away, evil forces were at work in the undersea kingdom. Ursula, the sea witch, that's Ursula, who had tried once before to overthrow King Triton, was looking for a way to take over. Though her crystal ball, through her crystal ball, she could see Ariel crying, and an idea came to her. Ariel sent her slimy eels, Flotsam and Jetsam, don't think I pronounced that, to Ariel. There they convinced the little mermaid that Ursula could help her and get her beloved prince. Ariel was so upset that she ignored Sebastian's warning and swam off with Flotsam and Jetsam to meet the sea witch. Well, when she got there, Ursula said, "My dear," said the witch, "here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'll make a potion that will turn you into a human for 3 days. Before the sun sets, on the third day, you've got to get dear old Princey to kiss you. If he kisses you, you'll remain human permanently. But if he doesn't, you turn back into a mermaid. Ho 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 ho. And you belong to me. Ho 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 ho." Well, to return for the potion, the witch wanted Ariel's voice. In return for the potion, the witch wanted Ariel's voice. "My voice?" asked Ariel. "Without my voice, how can I?" "You'll still have your looks, you pretty face," replied Ursula. Well, after Ariel agreed to Ursula's deal, the amazing change took place, and Ariel's voice flew from her body, and she captured in a seashell around Ursula's neck. Ariel lost her tail, it grew legs, and became a human. Oh no, a human, that's horrible. When Ariel went in search of the prince, she was helped by her friends. She tried to speak to them, but no sound came out. Well, a short while later, Ariel saw the Prince Eric, and Prince had been love sick ever since hearing her voice. At first, the prince thought Ariel was the girl who had rescued him, but when he learned that she could not sing, he knew he was wrong. Prince Eric felt sorry for Ariel. She needed a place to stay, so he took her back to his palace. Oh, that's very nice of him. Well, let's see what happens. Over the next 2 days, Prince Eric grew to like Ariel more and more. Oh yes, he liked her a lot. During a romantic boat ride, Eric was about to kiss Ariel when Flotsam and Jetsam, once again the eels, overturned the boat. "That was a close one. Too close," said Ursula, who was watching in her crystal ball. "It's time Ursula took matters into her own hands." Her own tentacles. That would make more sense. The sea witch mixed a magic potion and changed herself into a beautiful young maiden. That one. Who, one morning of the third day, there was a great excited throughout the kingdom. Prince Eric was going to marry a young maiden he had just met. Ursula, disguised as the maiden, had used Ariel's voice to trick Eric. He now believed that the maiden was the girl who had saved him from the shipwreck. Poor Ariel was heartbroken. Oh, so sad. Well, you'll never guess what happens next. Oh, she still looks kind of ugly. The wedding ceremony was to take place on Prince Eric's new boat. But then the brave bird, just as the bird flew by and passed in front of the mirror, her reflection was that of the sea witch, and the bird rushed off to tell Ariel and the rest of her friends. Sebastian quickly formed a plan. Flounder helped Ariel get out of Eric's ship. Meanwhile, their friend of the sky arranged for some of his seagull friends to delay the wedding, and Sebastian hurried to find the king Trident. Well, the Prince Eric and the maiden were about to be married when a flock of seagulls led by Scuttle swooped down on the bride. She screamed in the sea witch's voice. Scuttle knocked the seashell containing Ariel's voice, that one, and around the maiden's neck. The shell shattered and Ariel's voice returned to her. But "It was you all the time," said the Prince Eric. "Oh, Eric, I wanted to tell you," said Ariel. "The sun disappeared over the horizon just as they were about to kiss. Ariel's 3 days were up and she changed back into a mermaid." Ursula grabbed Ariel and dove off the ship. Pardon me. Well, thanks to Sebastian's warning, Trident was waiting for them, and Ursula Layer, "I might be willing to make an exchange for something better," cried Ursula. Trident agreed, and he became Ursula's prisoner. She now had his magic trident and controlled the undersea kingdom. Oh, that's not good for the sea people. All of a sudden, a harpoon struck Ursula in the shoulder. Prince Eric had come to Ariel's rescue. Together, they swam to the surface. Well, then Ursula followed close behind them, and she grew bigger and bigger with anger until she rose out of the water. Prince Eric swam to his ship and climbed on board. He grabbed the wheel and turned the ship toward Ursula. Just as the sea witch was about to fire a deadly bolt at Ariel from the trident, the prince's ship slammed into Ursula. The evil witch was destroyed. No more. Well, then, let's see what happens next. Now the witch was gone, Trident was freed. He rose from the sea and saw Ariel's watching Prince Eric, who was lying on shore unconscious. "She really does love him, doesn't she?" asked the Sea King. Sebastian, who was nearby, nodded. "I'm going to miss her," Trident added. Then he raised his trident and shot magic bolts at Ariel's tail. And well, the little mermaid's tail disappeared. And once again she had legs. Ariel was now a human. Prince Eric awoke in time to see his beloved Ariel running onto the shore. He kissed her, and they were married. And that day after the wedding, Prince Eric and Ariel sailed off on their honeymoon to live happily ever after. So, that was brought to you probably by Disney. Not exactly sure, but whoever brought it to you is the people who wrote this book, and all credit and money, if there is any to be made, should go towards them. Yeah, this is $3 US $4 US really. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the reading of this short story. It's fairly good. I recommend these books if you have small kids or if you just like stories, especially familiar stories or new stories or old stories. Anyway, you can also visit their website if you don't know what they got. Visit us online at www.goldenbooks.com. Yes, they deserve full credit for this, and feel like a teacher. They deserve full credit. Anyway, that's it. Goodbye.